Have you ever realized that trends just keep going back in time? In fashion, we've seen the revival of blowouts and flared jeans, mullets, corduroy, and knitted shirts. And if we look at the music industry, it seems that almost every charting song is using the exact same 80s style synth or some throwback 90s sample. Even in film, technology has evolved to the point of bringing us cell phone cameras capable of capturing breathtaking 8K resolution shots. But instead, our generation has just decided to throw a grainy washed overlay filter on top of our Instagram stories and call it cinematic. Hold on, that color grade's kind of fire, but more on that later. So with all the modern advancements and technology we have in the digital age, why do we continually draw such strong connections to the past? Well, for those of us born part of Gen Z, we experience a unique combination of factors and circumstances that contribute to this nostalgia obsession. Raised on the cusp of technology advancements from the late 90s to early 2000s, Gen Z youths have experienced both summers filled with playing outside, ding-dong ditch pranks, bike riding, and drinking from the water hose, as well as the days of social media, Uber Eats, streaming Netflix, and online gaming. In today's world, we've become the middle child between the go touch grass hippies of the past and the iPad babies of the future. In all, it could be acclaimed that nostalgia tends to reconnect us to our childhood confidence and remind us of who we were before the world told us who to be. And as we as a generation start entering adulthood, we begin living our lives trying oh so hard to cling on desperately to a time that was just simpler, more enjoyable, and free. But was the past a time that was truly better, or was it all in our heads? If we're being fair, nostalgia can at times bring back memories of when things were genuinely better. For example, old cartoons, boy bands, the dollar menu. Like, who remembers when footlongs used to actually be $5? Never forget what they took from us. But then there are times where nostalgia comes paired with a bit of delusion, to say the least. Meaning the nostalgic memories we hold on to from our past are rarely as great as we romanticize them to be. Like, you legit could have spent your entire youth as a child laborer working in a Chinese Nike sweatshop for 2 nickels a day and slave rations. But I mean, like, the cartoons they had on in the background were peak, so that pretty much cancels out everything bad that ever happened. That's because nostalgia is playing tricks on your mind. Most likely, the only reason you started feeling nostalgic to begin with was to escape from the current harsh realities of life as they are today. So your brain creates this defense mechanism to keep you from offing yourself by reminding you of a time where life wasn't always that bad. So by turning the distant past into a highlight reel of all the small comforts and community moments while filtering out the deep stresses and hardships, we glorify moments that probably at the time were less than desirable. Overall, nostalgia could be as if we're looking at our past through rose-colored glasses. Speaking of rose-colored glasses, allow me to show you how I was able to achieve this rosy-colored film effect along with the other nostalgic film looks in this video using Dehancer, the partner for today's video. Dehancer is a film emulating software that allows you to take ordinary digital shots and create the perfect cinematic look. You can choose from dozens of custom vintage films and pair them with the perfect prints and personalized settings, giving you an endless combination of possibilities. And honestly, I'm probably the least qualified person that could have possibly asked to do this because I have no idea what I'm doing. But here we are, so let's give this a try. And all this power is now available at your fingertips with Dehancer's newest iOS app, which is an absolute game changer for someone like me who shoots all their content on their iPhone. But with Dehancer, I could take my iPhone footage and with just a couple clicks of a button, capture the perfect cinematic feeling that screams shot on film. Okay, that actually came out pretty good. I'm genuinely impressed. Dehancer gets a certified thumbs up from me. So everyone, go buy Dehancer. Or don't. I'm not a financial advisor, but if I were, I'd tell you to use the code down below for 10% off. Plus, it helps out the channel. Thank you, Dehancer. Now, back to the video. So, we've already established how nostalgia can affect us as individuals. But there's a whole other dimension of nostalgia that has been expanded, exposed, and utterly exploited by large companies. I've already spoken about this quite in depth in previous videos. But this is my channel, so y'all just gonna have to hear me rant about this again. Today, we are completely oversaturated with unoriginal ideas. Specifically, if you look at the world of sequels and live action remakes.
Live action How to Train Your Dragon. They took the dragons that were computer animated and then they made those dragons computer animated. They animated them the way they did before.
Like, who is genuinely asking, demanding that we keep recreating the same movie over and over? Who does this even satisfy? Because from what I see, as soon as a reboot or remake is announced, people are straight dogging it on the internet for months before it even comes out, complaining about the casting that never resembles the original characters, or people that complain that it's the exact same as the original with no creativity, or the other end of the spectrum that complains that the creators changed too much and they wanted it to stay the same. Like, I'm convinced everyone's gotta be trolling at this point. I refuse to believe that there's anyone out there that genuinely enjoys these. It's just gotta be rage bait. Nonetheless, it has become evident that nostalgia has become a heavy selling point in today's world. But is that a bad thing? I mean, think back to the days when you were just a kid, eating chicken nuggets, riding in the back seat of the family car, when suddenly your parents started turning up the radio, bumping some straight old school jams that were released decades before you were born. Those moments built the foundational roots of nostalgia within your subconscious that would eventually shape you to be who you are today. It helped preserve the continuation of tradition, style, and culture throughout generations, which in turn passed the torch of inspiration to those who would build the future. I say all of this to say, though it poses a level of fatigue, nostalgia could be a very good thing. And maybe it's time for all of us to learn to be a little less judgmental of these nostalgic trends. Like, honestly, maybe sequels like Megamind 2 or the 2016 Powerpuff Girls reboot aren't so bad after all. Who am I kidding? They're terrible. They're awful. I almost kept a straight face that time though. I almost did it. That's too good, too good. Well, it's been your friendly neighborhood Jamal. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.